Hi everyone for the new episode Mastering the Classroom Management and the Strategies for Success. Classroom management is not having a right rules, it's all about having a right relationship between teacher and a student. In classroom management, effective strategies is very essential for providing a positive learning. In this episode, we are going to explore few techniques for the success in the managing a classroom. Why classroom management should be effective? Example, when the teacher enter a classroom, the students have to stand orderly and wish the teacher with a smile. In return, the teacher also should respect students and wish them with a smile. So these kind of small gestures or few instructions help students to learn in an orderly environment, as well as it enhances the academic skills such as writing, learning, technical literacy, as well as helps in the note taking, reasoning, as many more. And not only that, it also helps in the social and emotional development. Social, something like the self awareness, social awareness, emotional, how to handle with the tough questions, how to reach people when it is necessary, where to reach them, and how to handle or difficulties level, when to be a flexible. All these things can be learned by students only with the classroom management when it is in an appropriate way. What must the teacher establish? Before starting a class, the teacher have to set a certain goal or the expectations by the teacher, as well as she have to inquire what the students is expecting in that session. Only then they can have a proper appropriate learning. Not only that, the teacher have to be promote active learning. Not it should be a student involvement in the session. It should not be a one way the teacher conducting the session. It should always be a two ways where the students involvement there in the session. Once this set of rules or a set of expectation and is being reached by teacher as well as for student, the last point, that is a learning outcome, can be reached in an easy way. For reaching this, the first 2 points have to be in a appropriate. Room management is very essential. It should be a free walking places for the student as well as for teacher to move around in a classroom. The teacher have to move around in a classroom to check whether the students learning is happening. Not only that, all the teachers, all the students in the classroom should be able to see the teacher and focus on the board. As well as the teacher should scan, should be focusing on the students. The teacher material and student supply should be easily accessible in the classroom. There should be a flexible places or a good places, flexible places for the students to sit in a group and manage. Here, the classroom is an ecosystem. Learner and the teacher are part of it, which means that the ecosystem comes to the board or a teacher desk or to the student's desk or the copies, whatever it is, it should be in an appropriate place. So only then the students and the teacher interaction will be in a good manner. Example, before starting a class, the teacher is asking the giving the instructions, copy the notes from the board, or take out your notes and write the date. So when it is in not in a proper place or not written on the board, not in an exact way, the teacher as well as the students, it will lead into the chaos. So this for the interactive learning or for the reaching the learning outcome, the ecosystem of the classroom is very essential. The pedagogical process, which means that the learning is the process of acquiring the knowledge and skills through instructions and interaction in an educational context. Here are the few tips for the classroom management. First comes the silence. Silence When the teacher enter the classroom, if there is a lots of chaos, the teacher can use certain techniques in order to make the classroom silence. The old method or the old teaching method is not into the present 21st century skills. The few tips for the making the students as a a silence is 1 2 3 eyes on me, and the students will repeat as 1 2 eyes on you. And we have another techniques as Mexican cheese, and the students will reply everyone freeze. So the complete classroom is into a silence. So this is a one small techniques to make a classroom silent. So once the classroom is completely silent, you can go ahead with your session. um, Next comes the awards and the badges. For this, we have to give a certain appreciation for students. As adults, we also always try to take some kinds of awards and appreciation, right? In the same way, the students should be always give awards and badges. Some example like homework hero, star reader, or perfect participator, always on time. So these are some kinds of badges where we can give it for students. So example, when this awards and badges should not be having any kind of chocolates or for a pen or anything. It should be a award which is been into a different way. It can be in the form of a chart given to them and ask them to pin it in their shirts, or giving it should be always into a rotation way. The badges or the awards should not be into the same students for throughout the year. Next, start your class with the icebreaker activity. Icebreaker activity is very essential. Of course, it cannot be done in all the sessions, but it can be done in the beginning of the chapter. So, few activities we can have it in our classroom. Always set a classroom routine. So first we need to set a classroom routine. As the teacher enters a classroom, asks the students to copy the notes, open all your books on the desk, keep all your stationaries on your desk, and your water bottles to your right side of your hand, and then ask them to write down with the objectives of the topic, and then start with the running notes. So as I what usually I do is start with my question with the previous knowledge and introduce the topic with an activity and teach the topic and revise the topic as well, and the last is the homework. Like this, certain routine should be done by teacher. Next comes the role reversal. Role reversal is the teacher is becoming a student and the student is becoming as a teacher. So this is something which cannot be done always, but it can be done once in a year or twice in a year. But at the same time, we should also tell the students, give a topic before and ask them to do it in a as a teacher. Here that you also the teacher can become a student and always show them the pain of the teacher. Next is the grouping the students. So grouping the students is very essential, where the students should be grouped in a for making the grouping students is very essential for knowing each other. They learn to coordinate and learn. G stands for get alonging with everyone. R stands for respect everyone in the group. O show on task behavior. U stands for use of resource efficiently. P stands for participate in every activity possible. So these kind of the activities help the students in learning. There are few techniques for grouping the students. You can carry a rubber bands and ask the students to pick one rubber band from the packet. Then after they pick up from the rubber band, you can ask them to go according to the colors. Red in one group, green in one group, yellow in one group. As well as you can take a chit and ask them to divide it with a circle, rectangle, square, and give the students to pick with the classroom, and then they will pick and they can do it. So these are some techniques we can go for the grouping students. Next comes the acts for the classroom management. Always start off strong. This is very essential as a teacher to grab the students' attention. The few techniques are, you can start with a small activity or with the claps, different kinds of claps. You can use it in the classroom to grab their attention. Instead of shouting in the classroom, you can maintain a silence for a few seconds, and then immediately the whole class will look at you and they will stand quiet. The next, always change the tone and the voice. This is another techniques for grabbing the students' attention. It is not necessary always you need to raise your voice to the core. You can also reduce your voice and speak it in a slow voice so that they also maintain silence and they also listen to you. Next, use different types of claps where we are using it in our classrooms to grab the attention, and involve your students as much as possible. It is always the teacher should not focus on the one way of learning. It should be the two ways of learning so that the students can interact with the teacher. Promote them to ask the questions, as well as ask them to come with the PowerPoint presentation, sometimes ask them to do the activities in the classroom. Next, use the visual aids in your classroom. Always use a new techniques, new methods in the classroom. Always surprise with the fact and the quote, and the last can be through game. Here comes the how can we define the innovative teaching techniques. So usually the teaching learning process, it is something where the students coming and sitting in the desk, taking the notes and raising their hands, asking the questions, and then go out of the classroom at the end of the last period. But usually the teaching learning techniques is nothing but teaching for understanding, and this approach involves the breaking down the complex concepts into a smaller pieces and providing the opportunity for students to participate and apply what they have learned. So for this we have few effective strategies for classroom learning. First is the visualization, bringing the dull academic concepts into real life. This can be done through the whiteboard, bringing out the photos, videos, and taking the students for kind of local field trips, or taking them to the gallery walk, or keeping the bulletin boards with the vibrant colors. All these things are very important. Next is the cooperative learning, encouraging the students to mix with abilities to work together and promoting the small group or whole class activities. For this, the teacher can use the mathematical puzzles and involving the students in the scientific experiments, and as well as making them to make a map working in a group, or many more we can do it in a classroom. Always inspire the students with, or encourage the students to ask lots of thought-provoking questions so that they become more independent in a learning process. And differentiation, assigning the classroom activities by giving them the worksheets up to according to their level, bringing the complex concepts uh, into the simpler way through activities, worksheets will help the students to reach their goal. And also we are also helping the students to learn in a better way. And the fifth point is technology in the classroom, using lots of whiteboards as well as the mobile devices in the classroom, like making them the giving the Quizlet or the quiz, or the lots of activities with the defect app. All these things help the students in learning process, so that the learning becomes more interactive and students can physically engage during classrooms in the in using the technology. Next comes the behavior management. The behavior management for the students, we need to teach them. We need to give the appropriate atmosphere and ask them for the mutual respect. When this can be done through the set of goal by the teacher and giving them the reward for both, for giving them the reward and the badges often will help the students to be in a appropriate way. And the next comes the professional development. As a teacher, we need to have a professional development in a regular manner. The NEP says that we need to have and enhance the teaching strategies in our classroom. Only then participating in the lots of programs will help teachers to have to help them to reach the students. In conclusion, mastering the classroom management requires the combination of effective strategies of positive relationship. So as a teachers, we need to learn as well as support our students in a learning process. Thank you all. Please like, share and subscribe and press the bell icon for further notification. Thank you.